Fantastic Four First Steps, the beginning of Phase 6 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe and Part 3 of the Multiverse Saga. And this one's a big one. This is a big one because the Fantastic Four is a key element to the Marvel Universe. It's weird to think there hasn't been a Fantastic Four movie inside the MCU till now. I mean, mainly because of legal issues and how the rights to the Fantastic Four was a Fox property, and then Disney bought Fox, and then technically Disney got the rights back to Fantastic Four. So, but yeah, there's still, like, I can't believe it has taken this long, right? Because there are a very key, the key element to the Marvel Universe in the comics, because it was Stan Lee's first creation. Without the Fantastic Four, without Marvel's first family, the first family of comics, you don't get Spider-Man, you don't get Hulk, you don't get Iron Man, you don't get Thor, don't get Daredevil or X-Men, you don't get any of that. You get none of that. Silver Surfer, nah. You get zilch without the Fantastic Four. But sadly, when Fox had the rights to, when Fox was his own separate thing, and they had the rights to the Fantastic Four, they didn't know what to do with it because they kept making, at best, mediocre product. So everyone's like, oh my god, can we ever have a good Fantastic Four movie? Can we ever get a good Fantastic Four movie? Why is it so hard to make a good Fantastic Four movie? I mean, Disney did it already before this film. 2, in fact. It's called The Incredibles. Because that's the running joke, right? Oh, there hasn't been a good Fantastic Four movie unless you count The Incredibles. Yeah. The Incredibles did it. Disney did it. They already have a Fantastic Four movie way before they had the rights to Marvel. They just, because the core of the Fantastic Four is their family. It's basically mom, dad, and the 2 kids. And that's basically what it is. And you get the bickering, you get all the family dynamic in this. With these characters. So now they have returned home, you may say. Now, it's under Marvel. It's not by some under, could Marvel, could Kevin Feige be the head of Marvel Studios able to crack this? It will make the good Fantastic Four movie. And what I will say here is, yes, this is a good Fantastic Four movie. There are some things in the movie that I kind of worries my eyebrows a bit. I mean, mainly with first act stuff. Because in the beginning of the movie, it kind of takes a bit, like, I get it. It's meant to do the whole classic, like, mention this thing because it's going to be reported later on. Like, I get that whole concept. But I just felt like they could have done a little bit better. Because watching the first act of this film, I was like, I'm having a hard time connecting any of these versions of these characters. I'm having a hard time connecting them. I kind of feel like everybody's miscast. Like, what's going on here? Like, why is everyone watching? Like, I'm hearing good reviews, and it's 86% of Rotten Tomatoes. What are people, sniffing at? What's going on here? And then the main plot comes along. Now you may ask yourself, what is the main plot? So Galactus is coming. You may ask yourself, who is Galactus? Well, Galactus, who was in the second Fantastic Four movie, Rise of the Silver Surfer, but as a giant cloud. But he's not a giant cloud. His comic counterpart is not a giant cloud. He is a giant Godzilla-sized armor, wearing purple armor, who likes to eat planets. And Silver Surfer comes around and says, like, hey, Earth, we're going to, Galactus is coming, he's going to eat your Earth, good luck on that. And, of course, the Fantastic Four are like, well, no, we need to have a word with Galactus. And Galactus is like, yeah, sure, I won't eat your planet, as long as you give me your child. because Sue is, the Invisible Woman is pregnant with which is, Mr. Fantastic. And the moment that happens, there's a big punch in the gut. There's a big punch in the gut with the plot. And that's when now shit is getting real. Now everything, it felt like the moment Galactus shows up is now when the plot is more fast paced, or is now moving its gears a bit. It's moving. And I was like, okay, because, you got a cool action sequence with dealing with the Silver Surfer, but then you get a little bit of humor with Johnny, then you get, with a little bit of humor with Johnny, then you get, this is what you get, then you get all this drama, all this sort of really well written scenes, where it essentially is, oddly enough, like The Last of Us, the game or the TV show starring, that had co-starring, Paolo Pastel, aka Reed Richards in this movie, is it a world worth saving if this person's not in it? And of course, for a parent's point of view, it's like, fuck you, my child is the most important thing in the world. Meanwhile, the whole world is shouting at them, saying, no, I like to live, thank you. Give Galactus Franklin. And it gives this kind of, them questioning themselves. Is it the right thing to do? Every member of the 4 team has a plot point and a reason to be there. And even if it's a good emotional beat, like when it comes to with the thing with Ben, like normally I'm used to him going, I'm a monster, and clearly 4 years out he's has probably moved past that, and he's able to embrace, like, okay, this is what I look like now, and he meets this love interest, this teacher from clearly like a Catholic school or something, and he's clearly has a bit of a thing for her, which I was like, I hopefully this movie gets sequels, so we get to see that relationship form even more, because I think that could be an amazing romance. And it took me a while to be like, wait, is she in the comics meant to be blind? Is the love interest in this movie for Ben, is she normally blind in the comics? Could be wrong. Don't want to the discriminate. I don't want to do that, but don't cancel me. But I just want to make sure. But anyway, and that, you have Sue, who is, Reed is struggling with himself. Like, yes, he is a scientist, but of course, one of his faults as being one of the smartest men on Earth is he gets in his own head, and he's aware of it. He forgets the world around him because he's just so he's just bonked down on the equations. So there's scenes that you have characters dealing with external stuff, and you got characters dealing with internal struggles, and sometimes dealing with both. And it really works on that level. I mean, look, Franklin is a CGI baby, and yeah, it doesn't work. I mean, it kind of helps a little bit if you know his comic counterpart. A bit like, because Franklin's Jack on steroids, if you don't know his comic counterpart. Okay, all I will say here is, Franklin needs to be depowered quickly as fuck. Okay? He needs to be he needs to depower. They need to power Franklin Witches very quickly on. Because his comic counterpart can create universes with his hands. Okay? That kid can create universes with his hands. So they need to power scale that kid down, really lower it, and all that. The and that the visuals of this movie is amazing. Definitely when it comes to, you can tell when anything dealing with Silver Surfer, they kind of had a neat way to you know, it had a little bit of coolness with like the concept of her on board and space and all that, and I was like, okay, I kind of like that. I like the concept of um, 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 of them playing, you know, good cinematography when it comes to Silver Surfer, and that, and you know, the final confrontation with Galactus, it causes a big question. Yeah, this is not a character that you can easily punch. This is a character that is Godzilla. So it's kind of like, how does the Fantastic Four fight Godzilla? And is this a marketable question? And I sadly didn't get to see this film in IMAX, but whoo, whoo! If you saw this movie on IMAX and Galactus is on screen, yeesh, you'll have some it'll be some I want to say some it'll be a feat to the eyes. It'll be a feast to the eyes. But yeah, I it is the best Fantastic Four movie, which a lot of people ain't saying much, but it is on a long shot. It is a long while. It is finally a Fantastic Four movie that is worth on the name. The movie is fantastic. You know, Fantastic Four, like, you know, it's fantastic. But, you know, I just, there's a couple of things that did bug me a little bit in the movie, here and there, but it's nothing major. When for me, when Galactus shows up and the plot starts, you know, really going, because I'm a big fan of just get to the point. You know, I kind of like the pacing of Superman a little bit better, and a lot of people say, "Whoa, that's too quick." So, you know, take that as your will. But anyway, the performances are great. You know, you know, with that. But anyway, Marvel is officially back, because you got Daredevil, Thunderbolts, Deadpool, Wolverine, Attica, and now this. Marvel's back. Phase 6 is on a good start. And I mean, look, it's only it's you know, two years of in Phase 6. You know, because we got a Spider-Man film, 2 Avengers films, and whatever is coming out between those 2 Avengers films. And then we'll be done. But of course, with what's next for the Fantastic Four? Doom.